Good morning, everyone, and welcome to round 3 of the Commonwealth Bank Trophy. I'm Simone Thurtell. Great to have your company this morning as we join you from the arena in Brisbane for the match between the Queensland Firebirds and the Adelaide Ravens. The Firebirds have already notched up 1 win this season, and the Ravens, they're still searching for their first. Let's take a look at the competition ladder and see how all 8 teams have started this year. Our defending champions, the Melbourne Phoenix, are in a spot they are accustomed to, right at the top of the ladder. They hold out the Adelaide Thunderbirds, who also have 4 points, but sit in second due to for and against percentages. The Sydney Swifts and Perth Orioles round out the top 4, while the Sandpipers and Firebirds aren't far behind them, all 4 teams sitting on 2 points. The Melbourne Kestrels and the Adelaide Ravens are yet to post a win for the season, even though both teams have put in improved performances from last year. Joining our coverage this morning is Vicky Wilson. And Vicky, we're looking forward to some great goal shooting out there, but we're also looking forward to plenty of other great matchups out on court.
There'll be some great matchups out there this morning. Sharon Durbridge has been in great form for the Ravens. She'll have a work cut out for her with Melanie McKenzie standing against her. Something we didn't expect, Coach Sue Hawkins has elected to start Karen Wright. She shows a great deal of confidence in her, even though she didn't have a great game in the opening round. But the matchup of the morning will be Sharon Finnan on Melissa Tump.
Well, Danny Grant from the Ravens has the first centre pass. The Ravens running right to left on your screen. They're in all red, while the Firebirds left to right. They're in the black and red. Bit confusing, Vic. The colours looking a little bit the same, but nice start there for the Adelaide Ravens.
They made it look very easy, didn't they? They got it to the post in a direct manner.
And Sue Hawkins said the first home match that the Queensland Firebirds had, her team suffered dreadfully from nerves in the opening couple of quarters.
Well, it wasn't the best start for the Firebirds, and that was the quarter that did kill them. Perth opened up very nicely. Kath Cox, Anna Vidler and Jess Shin. But after that, the Firebirds found their form and they were able to build from that quarter, but it wasn't enough to catch the Perth Orioles.
Karen Wright will be happy with that start. A nice, confident first goal for her. Levels up the scores. And Kristen Heinrich gets another goal for the Ravens. We'll take a look at the team sheets for both of these teams. For the Queensland Firebirds, Wright and Chapman in goal. Rosman, Miller and Finnan make up the centre court. Stevens and McKenzie in goal defence, and goalkeeper Sue Hawkins is the coach. And for the Adelaide Ravens, Durbridge and Heinrich in goal shooter and goal attack. Tump, Grant and Gardner in the centre court. Tucker and Paul in defence, and Jackie Blythe is the coach for the Adelaide Ravens this season, and she's done some wonderful things with the Ravens. They had a terrible season last season. In fact, the last time the Adelaide Ravens won a Commonwealth Bank Trophy match was the preliminary final of 1999. Of course, they were winless last year. Yet to get a win on the board this year, but they've had some very impressive starts to the season. They went within 4 goals of the Adelaide Thunderbirds in round 1. As we see a good rebound there from Peter Stevens for the Firebirds.
And that's why Coach Sue Hawkins has made the change and opted for Peter Stevens and Mel McKenzie, taking Sharon Finnan out of the goal circle. Those rebounds she really wants. She realises how accurate Durbridge is.
And you can hear support from the crowd as the Firebirds take a 1-goal lead. And not a bad crowd in today for this match, considering that it is a long weekend here in Queensland, so I'm sure a lot of people have gone away. And Vicky, there's a big netball and carnival up here as well.
It's the Queensland Senior Championships in Toowoomba, so we've got a great number of teams from all over the state competing. The girls will be out playing all day, having a wonderful time.
Danny Grant in centre. She's made her way back to the Adelaide Ravens this year after spending some time.
I think you can put that turnover down to Sharon Finnan. The outstanding work on Melissa Tump. She made her work overtime, shut down that option.
Well, you did mention in the opener, Vicky, that is a crucial battle in this match. Good work there along the baseline from Karen Wright, and she completes the task there to take the Firebirds ahead by 2. Right now, with all 4 goals for the Firebirds, shooting 4 from 5 at 80%. The umpires for this match are Vaughan Aldridge and Michelle Fippard. You can hear their instructions in the background. Oh, mishandled there from Heinrich.
Well, it was a poor pass by Sharon Durbridge. Heinrich had 2 defenders on there. She really needed to use the centre court players.
Karen Miller in the Firebirds colours this year has made the move from the Swifts. can see Miller there at the top of the circle. Comes up with the error. Free pass to the Adelaide Ravens.
A replay ball on the top of the circle by Karen. She went for the fake and it just slipped out of her hands.
Goal attack, hold with the elbow.
That was a good transition by the Ravens to get it quickly to their shooter. Likewise, the Firebirds have just brought it down court. Sensational ball by Rosman into Karen Wright. It was nice and open on the baseline.
Some nice structured plays that Sue Hawkins has brought into this team, Vicky. I know last year she continued to say to us that it was a building year for her. She wanted to set the basis for her future team, and really they've come out this season. It is only round 3. They've got 1 win, 1 loss, but they've started strongly in this match as well.
Well, they have all matured as players, but also I think we're starting to show the rewards of having a full-time program, being on the Queensland Academy of Sport program, and the girls are looking in great shape, and I think this year they'll build again, and next year will be even a better side.
Great ball in there from Danny Grant into Sharon Durbridge, and Durbridge finished off nicely to bring the Ravens back within 2. 5 plays 3. Ravens with possession, looking to bring that back to a 1-goal difference. Heinrich out wide, finds Grant, looking for an option. Plenty of pressure defensively in that circle. Heinrich now lines it up. Stevens on her. Nice work from Heinrich.
That was good work by Kristen Heinrich. I thought Peter Stevens could have worked a little bit harder to try and stop that drive across court. Again, we see Finnan taking Tump out of the game, which meant they had to use the cross-court ball.
Ravens with the last 2 goals have brought it back within 1. 5 plays 4. What can the Firebirds do in attack here? Hell ball.
That was great defensive pressure by Jane Poole and Alison Tucker, particularly Poole. She came around Karen Wright, didn't sit and try and play her from behind. 2
turnovers early in this match against the centre, Karen Miller, now for the Firebirds, but that turnover will go against the Adelaide Ravens. Throw in from the sideline for the Firebirds. Stevens out to Miller. Finnan now looking for an option through the centre. Miller, a little bit stagnant in the centre court. Firebirds now they get on a roll. Just can't drag it in there.
Nice fake by Chapman. Looked out to her left and found right on the baseline. Should have been one she should have shot.
5 from 8 from Karen Wright. 63%. She's taken all the attempts at goal so far for the Firebirds. They've had 8 attempts at goal, 5 attempts from the Ravens. And Durbridge lines up. Oh, great work.
Great work, Mel McKenzie. Just slams it down. That will be... well, that will go down.
And doing exactly what her coach is requiring of her out there, Mel McKenzie, early in the match. Karen Wright moves it in a step.
I was about to say, that type of intercept on the shot, that will really put Durbridge off. She'll hesitate on the next one. It'll be interesting to see what she does. She'll either fake it or just shoot within about 0.5 of a second.
Oh, Tump, not with a great pass off to Gardner. Turnover to the Firebirds. Right.
Loose defence by Jane Poole. Wasn't prepared to work hard outside the circle.
Oh, Chapman with her first attempt of the match, and what a beautiful attempt it was, all net. You can see her shooting average at the moment for 2001 is 71%. She's 1 for 1 at the moment in this game. Another turnover there from the Firebirds, but the Firebirds in the lead at the moment with under 8 minutes remaining, 7 plays 4. Gardner holds it up. Now Heinrich comes forward out of the circle, but again, good touch there from Peter Stevens. Tump manages to regather for the Ravens. Grant, oh, Mel McKenzie again, having a great first quarter. She comes up with the intercept.
That was a great intercept. She took it on the stretch, out in the left hand. She was up off the ground.
Rosman across the circle. Miller, nice ball. Into Karen Wright, brings up her 7th goal.
That was a nice hole by Karen Wright then, and Miller just took the time to put it in. She's very patient, Karen. That's why she's slotted in so well. Consistent with the passes.
Firebirds on a 3-goal run, but Durbridge silences that run.
Makes me eat my words about hesitating on the shot.
She looked very confident there. Durbridge 2 from 3.
It was interesting that Mel McKenzie didn't attempt the jump.
Well, she has the height over Durbridge and certainly the confidence at the moment. She's come up with 2 great intercepts. Nice ball movement around the circle.
Well, they've got their timing going really well. They're just popping out at the right moment. The feeders putting in the ball very nicely.
And dropping in as well. Karen Wright chugging along beautifully. 8 from 11 at 73%. 9 plays 5. Firebirds taking control on their own home court, as you would expect them to do. No nerves shown out there in this match.
Great skill by Sharon Finnan. Then used almost like the tennis overhead smash to try and tip that ball out of court.
Shot or pass.
And Durbridge gets a nice goal there to bring it back within 3. The last time these two teams met was in round 13 last year, and they played a 57-all draw. We're expecting a great match here again today.
Sorry, great ball by Rosman, then opening up the middle of the court, found Wright cutting across.
Advantage break.
Gardner.
On the ball, goalkeeper,
Undisciplined play by Mel McKenzie then. Needed to pull out.
Construction centre.
Oh, great work from Durbridge. Off balance, managed to get the quick offload. And the goal for Heinrich. 13 plays 10. Miller into Wright. Just off target with that one, right? Good work, though, from Rebecca Chapman to try and regather, but the ball goes the way of the Adelaide Ravens.
Construction goal attack.
Chapman stands aside.
The intensity of the Firebirds' defence is really very good coming down court. We've got 7 defenders. Everyone's out there working.
Gardner onto Grant.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, Grant didn't get enough height on that feed. She was looking for Heinrich on the baseline. Too many Firebirds in the way.
Good cut by Peter Stevens to bring it out of the back line. That's the job of defenders.
Centre penalty. With the centre where you are.
And here's a look at that intercept. Take a look. Grant with the feed.
It's Peter Stevens in good position. Always had that covered. Not a good ball from Grant at all.
3 intercepts to the Firebirds. None to the Ravens at this point, as Miller goes for another one for the Firebirds. Tucker just manages to hold her position. Grant into Durbridge.
She's timing that forward movement very well, Sharon Durbridge. That's about the 5th time she's just taken that step away from McKenzie, just lunged forward for the ball.
This is a nice even match here. 13 plays 11. Ravens looking to bring it back to 1. Heinrich now lines it up. And indeed, does bring it back to 1. 5 from 6 attempts. Well, Heinrich at 83%. Minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. 13 plays 12. Queensland bringing it down court. Stevens, good ball. Rosman at the top of the key with the circle onto Wright. Air ball there from Wright, just off target.
Oh, she was a long way off target on that one. It was all air.
And not too much pressure. We've seen her quite a lot of harder attempts in this match. Not to worry. 13 from 12. Another intercept there. Sharon Finnan. On to Chapman. Chapman out to Rosman. Finds Miller. Working it on the edge of the circle as Chapman now finds herself free. And the Firebirds back to a 2-goal lead. 14 plays 12. This has been a great first quarter from both teams. Very high shooting percentages, but some nice defence we've seen as well. Durbridge.
Shot or pass. Wait for her to stand out.
Obstruction called. Under 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Durbridge with another attempt. And this one drops in. Brings up her 8th goal. 8 from 9 attempts. Firebirds will have to be quick if they want to get another goal in before the quarter-time break. Stevens, long high ball. Great ball. Into Karen Wright. And in fact, they didn't get it into the net early enough, the Queensland Firebirds. That is quarter time. Firebirds by 1, 14, plays 13.
Karen Wright, 11 from 16 at 69%. Beck Chapman, 3 from 3, 100%. Great shooting from Beck Chapman, but she really does need to have more attempts. The turnover's not bad for the Firebirds. They've had 6, only 5 in the forward line, and their penalties, I think they've been rather disciplined, although Rebecca Chapman, 5 for a quarter, that really is quite high.
Stay with us, we've got a close match here. The Queensland Firebirds 14 lead the Adelaide Ravens 13. Underway in in the second quarter of this round 3 match between the Queensland Firebirds and the Adelaide Ravens, and immediately it's a mistake off the centre pass from the Adelaide Ravens. So the Firebirds with the first opportunity to score in this second quarter. 14 plays 13, just won the difference. As Wright lines it up and makes it 2. And superior shooting in this first quarter, Vicky.
Karen Wright, 12 from 17. Beck Chapman, 3 from 3, and for the Ravens, 8 from 9 by Sharon Durbridge and 5 from 6 from Heinrich.
Hope you're enjoying all the action on ABC television. As Tump off to Grant. Durbridge, Grant floats the ball in, was looking for Heinrich. Just a little too much juice on it, sailed over the baseline.
Good drive down court by Sharon Finnan, created the space for Miller.
Rosman into Wright.
Structure on the second jump.
Ball will stand aside. Wright will get another opportunity. Had a successful first quarter. Oh, that one bounces off the rim, but Chapman does well to gain position. Oh, it still doesn't go in for Chapman. And that was good pressure there from Jane Poole.
That was very good. Good position.
You can see our website address there, abc.net.au/netball. Make sure you log on, give us some of your opinions in the guest book, read our match reports, also some of the profiles of the players that you are seeing on your screens and around the league. Kristen Heinrich is one of those players as she brings the Ravens back within 1 point. 15 plays 14. Chance now to level the scores here, the Ravens. Grant. Oh, nowhere to go. Ends up going back to Trudy Gardner. Now Heinrich comes out of the circle. But again, Mel McKenzie. Oh, unfortunate there. Replay's being called, but she's getting herself into the right position.
And she's brave enough to come out of the circle and have a crack at it. And that's what we like to see from a defender, particularly the back keeper. Great shot by Kristen Heinrich right from the edge of the circle.
And that levels us up here in the second quarter, 15 apiece. Ravens have scored the last 2 goals as Finn comes back to collect this wayward ball.
A little bit messy in the forward line here. We've got 5 players in the centre third for the Firebirds.
Long bomb into Karen Wright, and it was well done from Chapman. And Wright hits the rim hard, but it rolls round and drops through the net. Take another look. It was worth seeing again.
That's what happens when you have 5 players all in the centre third. You just throw the long one. That soon gets everyone down court.
Tump with her own long pass into Durbridge, and Durbridge with the advantage goal levels us up again at 16 apiece. Having trouble getting a few of the words out here in this match. Right, oh, Rosman just couldn't get control of that one.
It was good pressure by Trudy Gardner. Just interrupted Rosman's vision. Well done by Karen Miller. Took the back space off Alison Tucker, who was driving down court.
Miller now with possession. Stevens, oh. Tucker's been called for the contact. She took a heavy tumble there.
Yeah, I think that was a tough call. She was in front all the way.
Got a bit of a shove along the way too. Nevertheless, she'll stand aside.
Yep, she had the front position.
Offside ring defense.
As that replay shows, Chapman drops one in for the Firebirds though. 4 from 5 for Chapman. Karen Wright has done the majority of their scoring. She has 13 goals. Firebirds edge out by 1 again. 17 plays 16. Durbridge out of the circle. Oh, Grant just manages McKenzie.
That was a tough call also.
Yeah,
just could have been,
thought she was in there, yeah.
Yeah, or called possession. Not out of play. Great hands, Peter Stevens. She's got an exceptional reach.
On their game in this match, both of these defenders, but Kristen Heinrich sinks a long bomb. 9 from 10 at 90%. In fact, both shooters at shooting at 90% for the Ravens. 17 from 19. They've converted.
Karen Miller just caught with her feet in some... Sorry, Karen Wright with her feet in cement. Should have kept going.
Oh, and there's an injury here for the Ravens, and it is Alison Tucker. And
not sure what happened. I think she might have stood on someone's foot.
I took my eyes off it, but she's clutching her right leg here. Take a look.
Happy 16th birthday.
Oh, one of her own players there, tangled up, and she went down. Gardner onto Durbridge, out of the circle. Oh, good hands from Stevens. Great work from Mackenzie. These two have got a great understanding.
It's a great stretch by both of them. And a good ball by Rossman.
Oh, they're looking a lot slicker this season than they did last season, the Queensland Firebirds. 18 plays 17. But the Ravens as well, looking a much improved team this year.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with them in the first quarter.
Oh, Heinrich bags that one.
It's a great
18
game.
apiece.
Yeah, it's balanced all over the court. It's what we want to see, a nice tight game. As they say, the championship quarter in the third.
In the third, we say that often. Oh, that one just had a little too much on it from Stacey Rosman. Over the top of Karen Wright's head. Turnovers in the match, 10 for the Firebirds and 11 for the Ravens. But 5 intercepts for the Firebirds. 2 of them for Stevens, 2 for Mackenzie. So again, look at that.
Mackenzie was unsighted on that ball, but she went the reverse hand. That was just superb skill by Mackenzie.
Well, they're shooting well, the Adelaide Ravens goalers, but they're certainly under a lot of pressure from the defence from the Firebirds.
No, we just didn't quite see Mel do that reverse one. Oh, here it comes. She comes in, she's turned, she's blind to the ball. Yes, she does the old reverse swipe.
Free pass awarded to the Firebirds. Miller now finds Chapman.
Obstruction, goal attack.
Back to Miller. Karen Wright. Rosman onto Chapman. Wasn't the quickest trip down court, but nevertheless the Firebirds got there the way they wanted to.
Stacey Rossman had to do a lot of work outside the circle before she could find the position on the top.
Nice work there from Trudy Gardner to get a touch and force the turnover for the Adelaide Ravens. And Heinrich makes good position and takes the Ravens out by 1 now. This lead seesawing in the second quarter, 7.5 remaining. In this quarter, Ravens 20, the Firebirds 19. Danny Grant, nice into Sharon Durbridge, good quick pass. Mackenzie has gone down, but I think she's okay, just lost her footing a little. And Sharon Durbridge now versus the Firebirds shoots at 77%. That is her career average as well. Durbridge averages 24 goals in a match against the Firebirds. Thanks to Todd Miller, our statistician, for all these fantastic angles he comes up with. Rosman, nice floated ball over to Karen Wright.
Good movement by Wright. She brought her defender out to her right and then cut back to the other side of the post along the baseline. Look how fast Melissa Tump is on the pivot. Once she takes it, she's straight away looking down court.
Danny Grant just couldn't pull that one back. So again, the Firebirds get an opportunity to go on the attack. Finnan, oh, great ball. Good passing all the way from the Firebirds. Finnan turned her back on it. Oh, didn't watch it. She was so confident Wright was going to get that one to drop in. Sharon Finnan fired the pass in and then turned around thinking that's another one.
Well, it should have been, and Karen will be disappointed. It was a great passage of play. They had options running everywhere, but the thing is they had great space and timing to go with it.
Chapman just not realising here that both defenders and both shooters out of play at this point.
Great change of direction then by Tump across the top of the circle.
Call goes against Stevens. And Durbridge takes the Ravens to 22, 2 goals ahead now of the Firebirds. Durbridge and Heinrich both with 11 from 12 at 92%. Making the most of everything they can.
Oh, and she forced that one, Karen Miller. No need for that. Took on Danny Grant, who had good position in front of her.
Oh, good touch there. Grant, though, gets it back for the Ravens as Chapman goes to ground. She's up again now. Oh, Durbridge with the quick. Oh, good passage of play there for Heinrich to keep it in court. And Durbridge to finish it off. Durbridge with the initial quick pass, but then some good skills and some quick thinking from the Ravens.
And it's all initiated by Danny Grant. She's got superb speed, drives into the goal third and generates the play.
You heard the crowd with a big cheer there as Kristen Heinrich was called for the offence. And the turnover going the way of the Firebirds. Chapman into Karen Wright. Oh, off the rim from Wright. Oh, unfortunate there for Rosman.
Here we see the transition again through Grant.
Miller pinned for the contact.
Where you are, goal shooter, shuttle pass.
And he,
see Rosman just offside, just a little toe.
just a little toe. Always best to continue on with play like you don't know what's going on. See if you can get away with it, but on that occasion, the umpire's in good position.
I think she also looked down and looked at her feet.
Ravens have scored the last 3. They're on a bit of a roll. Let's see what the Firebirds can do here. Chapman. Oh, takes a step to the side. A lot of pressure there from Jane Poole. And the contact goes against Chapman.
It was interesting, she faked the shot, and yet Jane Poole was on a lean. There was no way she was going to be able to jump after she was on full stretch. So it was a waste of a fake, and then she got herself in trouble with the time.
Both players called for the offside here, so it's a toss-up. And Finnan with lightning-quick reflexes, but then Tum got in the way. There's Sue Hawkins, 19% win record for her. And she's looking on with interest in this match. Her team down by 4 at the moment, but definitely a great contest on our hands, although Rosman lets that one go through the hands, and the turnover's just creeping up a little now. Tump almost with a rugby pass, and it's just picked off nicely by Peter Stevens.
Again in good position, she was sitting in front.
Oh, nobody out there.
The wheels are falling off for the Firebirds in the forward line. It's about the 4th time they've come down court. They haven't converted, been undisciplined in their play, just lack of concentration. Oh, great touch by Peter Stevens from behind. She's got terrific elevation.
Oh, as Mel McKenzie and Sharon Durbridge jostling for position. Geez, Durbridge getting sandwiched there between the 2 defenders. It's all happening out there in the goal circle.
Well, this is what Sue Hawkins wanted. A lot of work off the ball. Perhaps not as much as what Mel McKenzie did.
Take a look. McKenzie. Oh, I think Durbridge just a little bit off. Tit for tat there.
She came out of it all right. Could have been a lot worse.
And Durbridge says, don't worry about it. I'm just going to keep shooting over the top of you. 15 from 16 now at 94%. And all of a sudden, the Ravens have scored the last 7 goals. Ravens 28. Ravens 27, in fact. They've scored the last 6. 27 plays 20.
Lucky to get away with it again, the Firebirds. It really has closed down in this forward line. We're all standing. We see Miller very high in the circle.
Good move from Chapman. Oh, didn't want to take it herself.
No, we needs to sink this one.
And does just that. And breaks that run of goals from the Firebirds to bring the Firebirds back within 5. 26 plays 21. Under 2 minutes remaining. And oh, God, Tucker, that was just off target there. Rosman, easy pickings. But now finds it hard to get the ball into the circle as the defenders go overtime. And in fact, Tucker comes up with that one for the Ravens. Danny Grant into Kristen Heinrich. Oh, Heinrich air ball over the top. Stevens gratefully accepts that one. Miller onto Chapman, holds it up. Just getting a little bit leg weary here in the latter stages of this second quarter. The Queensland Firebirds. Miller off target. These passes going badly astray in the late stages of this quarter from the Firebirds. While the Ravens just seem to be gathering momentum. Still only 5 the difference though, 26 plays 21. Heinrich does well to follow in her own shot. She wasn't confident it was going to drop. And follows up nicely Kristen Heinrich for her 14th goal. 27 plays 21, under 20 seconds remaining in this second quarter. And again picked off Chapman's pass. She was looking for Wright, but redeems herself by taking the intercept. And Wright got a touch on the hand, I think, as she released that one. Nevertheless, didn't go in. And that is half-time here at the arena in Brisbane. And it was all the Adelaide Ravens in the second quarter. The Ravens now out by 6, 27 over the Queensland Firebirds, 21.
Well, superb shooting by the Ravens. Durbridge, 93%, and Heinrich, 82%. That really is one of the differences between the two teams. The team average for the Firebirds is 66%, but also the penalties. You see 28 against the Firebirds and 15 against the Ravens, so far more discipline in their play. Turnovers fairly similar, but it's what you're able to do with the turnovers that really counts. But I think Coach Sue Hawkins will be looking to make a change in that forward line for the Firebirds.
Will the Ravens continue on, or can the Firebirds come back in the second half? Stay with us.
Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do.
Six the difference. The Ravens took control at the end of that quarter, the last quarter. Let's take a look at some of the changes that the Firebirds have made. You can see that Chapman and Rosman have stayed where they were. Stewart, Connell and Matthews have come on. Stewart in goal, shooter Connell in centre, Matthews in wing defence. And Stevens and Finnan have changed. Finnan's gone from wing attack, or wing defence it was. Sharon Finnan has gone into goal defence. So plenty of movement there. You can see that Tucker and Paul have changed position for the Adelaide Ravens. Heinrich continues on the way she finished off the first half. Heinrich now 15 goals from 18 attempts at 83%. 28 plays 21. Nice long bomb there into Carla Stewart for her first attempt of the match, and it's a good one. And this crowd, which has been growing throughout the match, lets out an almighty cheer, and maybe they can get this team back into the game. Definitely not out of their reach, only 6 the difference. But as Vicky mentioned earlier, this is the championship quarter, what they call the championship quarter. As Durbridge sure doesn't get to roll one in. Nice stretch there from Stevens.
Good outlet to Sasha Connell's clearing off the circle edge.
You can see the Firebirds at home have a success rate of 22%, 16% away. So they'd like to bolster that home rate. Ravens, 33% win rate at home and away. They do a lot better, which is quite surprising, 46% away.
Well, they're lucky to get that throw in then, Ravens. Oh, we got it back this time. I keep saying we, and I have to remember I'm not out there.
That's okay, Vic. I think people know your allegiances. Oh, it's tough work out there. Matthews stands aside. Durbridge, well, didn't quite stand aside, and the advantage was played. Heinrich will take it from there. She's confident. Why not? She followed it in, but didn't need to.
Quick hands by Danny Grant, then put it into the space. Well-placed bounce pass.
29 plays 22. We're in the third quarter of this match, and that one goes against Carla Stewart.
She didn't keep her body upright on that position, on that hold. She used a bit of a push-off and a bit hunched over.
Grant onto Durbridge. And the Ravens look like they've picked it up a bit. Picked up the pace. Durbridge comes in for another attempt and sinks that one. They're out by 8 now. They hit the 30 mark, the Adelaide Ravens. 30 plays 22. Just over 12 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And it's just getting into the circle a little easier now for the Adelaide Ravens, although that one didn't go through the net. Chapman, long ball. Well, that's twice that Stewart's been pinned. Carla Stewart on your screen has come on in this third quarter. 1 goal against a name, 2 turnovers, or 2 penalties, I should say. Grant, oh, nice work there from Sharon Finnan.
And good support play by Peter Stevens, working well together.
Danny Grant coming over the back of Sasha Connell, got a touch to it. Connell from the sideline now. Finnan finds.
Lucky again, Beck Chapman. That's the second one this quarter that she's put to the wrong spot.
Chapman over the top of Tucker. Stewart not having a happy start to this quarter. Look at those penalties. 33 plays 16. Firebirds with 33. It's both.
Great work by Stacey Rossman, then coming down court to apply the defensive pressure.
Stewart off to Chapman. Off the rim for Chapman as all 4 players jostle for that ball.
Again, she went for the fake when we had Poole on the stretch. I think it's just interrupting a rhythm a little bit.
Chapman. Oh! Went to the left of the ring, but just caught enough ring to shove it through the net. 30 plays, 23. Chapman now 6 from 10 at 60%.
Construction, goal defense. Goal first.
7 the margin, 10.5 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Stewart's going to have to be clean on this one.
Oh. Connell's pass,
Inside the circle.
just not accurate.
No, and Stewart was setting up Chapman for the screen. Great take and pass by Tump.
Contact goal defender where you are.
Good ball into Heinrich. She did well under heavy pressure from Finnan to maintain possession and her position. And Heinrich now 17 from 21.
Holding goal defense.
Grant off to Durbridge, who just didn't handle it. Went over the baseline. You can see her shaking her head there, a bit disappointed with the effort. Plenty of pressure on though. Chapman, cross court to Finnan.
Rossman got herself in a spot of bother there, needed to clear. She ran into the mess.
Off the feet of Tucker, so Firebirds still with possession from the baseline. It's Chapman, top of the circle to Connell, back into Chapman. Oh, dishes off to Stewart. Good quick ball.
Good positioning by Stewart, good lunge. It's very difficult for the defenders to get around that one.
Back within 7 again, 31 plays 24. Durbridge off to Grant, improves her position. And Sharon Durbridge really taking control. 15 from 17 at 88%.
Sasha Connell really needs to work overtime on Danny Grant to stop this penetration in the goal third. I see Grant again getting to the edge.
Last week, Sharon Durbridge shot 31 from 36 attempts at 86%. She sits at 89% in this match, so she's come out in fine form in season 2001. Gardner onto Heinrich. Cross court. Just not knowing where to go here at the moment. Tump back to Poole, the Ravens.
Great take again by Tump. She's got speed to burn. What a, oh. I thought it was a great ball. I thought Heinrich could have pulled that one in if she had arms that were 6 feet long.
Tump was running them all in circles there. And I think she beat her final defender and let go of the pass.
It's interesting to note in the forward line, Rebecca Chapman is on 6 turnovers. They all happen in the goal third. Stacey Rossman's also got 5 against her. So it's just coming unstuck for the Firebirds down this end.
Connell, quick ball into Chapman. Chapman one step to the side, and that one didn't look overly confident, but hey, it went through, and that's all she really needs to know. 7 from 11 now at 64%. 33 plays 25, 8 the difference.
Great move by Tump. Lost Matthews on top of the circle. Unlucky. It went offside. Again, Rossman getting caught high up on the transverse line. They need it down there on the edge of the circle.
Connell with a great stretch. Just brought it in. Oh, Stewart lost her footing, so had to offload. Stepping called.
But so it was a good ball. Quite often you see centre court who are caught in the pocket, and that bounce pass will always get them out of trouble if they connect with their own player at the top.
Again, Tump just a little misdirected, a little too much on the feed.
So she's had 7 turnovers against Melissa Tump.
Rosman back to Stevens. Finnan on the fly. Connell, high long ball into Stewart. Stewart didn't have the balance though, offloaded to a Ravens player, and now we've just got some wild passes coming from both teams.
You were right when you said they've upped the pace, and now they've just lost a little bit of control, both sides, so they'll be looking to bring it back in. Again, we see the ball sprayed across court.
Well,
see how we go this time. This is their 4th attempt. Oh, but sensational intercept by Sasha Connell.
7 intercepts to the Firebirds, 6 to the Ravens. Now Stewart gets it on the baseline after a great ball from Chapman. And the advantage goal is counted. 3 from 3.
Intercept by Sasha Connell, just trailing down court with Danny Grant. On to Chapman. Leanne Matthews finds Carla Stewart coming out of the circle edge. So it was a good passage by the Firebirds then.
Firebirds.
Underway again with a Firebirds centre pass. And they're down by 7 at the moment. Stewart.
Contact, wing defense.
Rosman, quick ball into Stewart.
Construction.
And Stewart now 4 from 4. In fact, she's 5 from 5, I'm sorry. And the Firebirds have scored the last 4 goals to come back within 6. And Stewart was only 4 from 4, so 33 plays 27. Coming up to 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Grant saw Durbridge making the move. Short with the shot, Durbridge. Great work from Stevens.
Good balance, good vision to be able to get it to the edge of the circle.
Finnan holds it up for Chapman.
In fact, Chapman, I think, cut across in front of Connell then.
And the pass is just not hitting the mark, Vicky, in the latter stages of this third quarter.
I'm surprised, but all you can do is put it down to your opposition and the pressure they're applying.
Huge turnover count in this match as we see another one. 26 turnovers for the Firebirds, 25 now for the Ravens after that last one from Gardner. .33 plays 27. Held, ball called.
I think that was a bit quick. I want to put the stopwatch on that one.
A few murmurs in the crowd there. They're not quite sure as well. Nevertheless,
Alison Tucker said to Trudy Gunn, I just can't see you, and that's what would happen with Carla Stewart standing in front of her. She needed a cutter. Well read by Leanne Matthews.
Connell with the quick ball off to Stewart. Rosman.
Goal attack, contact.
Oh, called against Rebecca Chapman. This is the last intercept. Leanne Matthews strong in the air.
Rebecca Chapman got pulled for coming in under the other defender. She was defending Stewart's shot. I'm surprised she hasn't been pulled for that more often. She's been doing it for all last season, and the defenders actually have position, so it's quite interesting that it's taken this long before someone actually pulls her up for it.
Finnan. Chapman. Oh, plenty of pressure. Stewart. She's keen to offload. Doesn't want to shoot too many at the moment, but Chapman's doing okay for herself anyway. 8 from 12 at 67%. 33 plays 28.
As I say, very messy over the transverse with Connell and Rosman. Then they both were standing, getting caught in the same position, cutting on top of one another.
And just going to hold time while Chapman gets off the ground. She had the offense, stands aside. Adelaide Ravens on the attack. Durbridge onto Grant. Plenty of spring in the step from Danny Grant.
It was a great double play to position herself on the circle edge. Tump again can't find the mark. That's number 9 in the turnover stakes for Tump.
Oh, but there's a great intercept from Melissa Tump. What she makes up, I was going to say what she lacks in some areas, she makes up in others, but she cut down on those misdirected passes. She'll be having a great game. Durbridge drops one in, and she's solid. Sharon Durbridge, 17 from 20 at 85%.
It's great shooting by Sharon Durbridge.
Just plugging away in. Vicky, we saw the Thunderbirds the season before. They lost one of their shooters early, round 1. Adelaide Ravens lost one of their shooters early. How much does it disrupt your play when it happens that early in the season?
Well, I think it really tests your depth of your bench or of your 16 in your squad. And full marks to the Thunderbirds last year. They lost Australian shooter Jackie Delaney, but managed to bring themselves back to finish number 1 and lose the final and come in runners-up. But it does make a big difference to your side, particularly when you have that early loss.
Jane Poole just put a foot over the sideline. And there's something on the court, but I'm sure somebody will attend to that as Connell holds it up. Oh, held ball. And coming up to a minute remaining in this third quarter, 35 plays 28. The Ravens out by 7. And it hasn't been a very pretty quarter from either team. Turnovers really dominating. Penalties as well. In fact, the Firebirds have almost given away 2-1 the penalties. Heinrich sinks another one, 18 from 22 at 82%. Haven't dropped below 80% in this match in shooting. The two Ravens players. Ravens have the last 3. Oh, another misdirected pass. And I know what each coach will be saying at the 3-quarter break. From the baseline for the Firebirds.
Wing attack, free pass.
Tomp just pinned for the offside. 15 seconds remaining. They'll have to be quick, get it down court if they want another goal. Oh! The ball from Matthews was meant for Stewart. Right idea with no time on the clock, but just over the top. And this one goes over the head of Trudy Gardner, and I think that's all we'll have time for in this quarter. In fact, that is 3-quarter time here at the arena in Brisbane, and it's the Adelaide Ravens 36 with the 8-goal margin over the Queensland Firebirds 28.
Great shooting by Sharon Durbridge and Christine Heinrich. 18 from 21 for Durbridge, 18 from 22 for Heinrich. Very impressed with the penalty count against the Ravens. They've been very disciplined, in particular Tucker and Poole. The turnovers quite high. Jackie Blythe would be quite disappointed with the amount of turnovers, particularly in their forward line.
The Adelaide Ravens looking impressive. Can the home crowd bring the Queensland Firebirds home? Stay with us.
Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do.
Difference was 6 at halftime. It's 8 at 3-quarter time, and really a low-scoring quarter. Only 9 played 7 in that last quarter, Vicky.
It was very low scoring and very undisciplined play by both teams, so I'm sure the coaches will address that.
You can see the changes for the Firebirds are plenty. Matthews at wing defence, Connell at centre, Stewart at goal shooter, Stevens and Finnan, and Wright has come in at goal attack.
Burnage offside, centre.
Danny Grant now into Durbridge. Just bounces off the rim. Well, if anything dominated the third quarter, it was turnovers and penalties. Penalties at the 3-quarter time break. 40-22 for the Queensland Firebirds. Turnovers 32-31. The Firebirds also winning that race, and it's definitely a race you don't want to win. Tump into Heinrich.
Offside, wing defence.
Grant, good speed around the circle.
Total pass. With the goalkeeper, back, yes.
Durbridge gets a position right according to the umpire, but then neatly hands off to Heinrich.
Contact, wing defence.
Oh, that was a good challenge by Matthews then. Unfortunately, the umpire didn't see it that way. It's a chance for the Firebirds to get one back on the board. Great ball from Matthews into Stewart. Good position.
On the elbow.
See that Karen Miller has come onto the court in wing attack in that injury time.
Well, Trudy Gardner had done a great job on Stacey Rosman. Sue Hawkins is looking, as I said, she's looking for anything at the moment. Things aren't going real well for the Firebirds.
Stewart gets her 10th goal.
Contact, wing
10 from
attack.
10, but she has 6 penalties and 5 turnovers. 48 plays 35.
Throw-in, Ravens.
Touch from Stevens. Sees the throw in from the baseline. Kristen Heinrich for the Ravens. Grant. Oh, great work from Heinrich. Feet weren't even on the ground. She offloaded to Durbridge. Nice play.
Yeah, I think Durbridge will forgive her for shoving her in the back to go back for that screen. It's a nice play by Heinrich.
Miller into right. Off target right.
Throw-in, Ravens.
And the Ravens will have possession. Right now, 17 from 27 at 63%. The shooting percentage is down on halftime. Ravens shooting 87% at halftime. This dropped to 78%.
Great vision by Melissa Tump. Peter Stevens went across court to take the ball. Durbridge is left free under the post. She just flicked it on.
Yep.
And that one drops in for Heinrich. Her 24th goal, and they've hit 50, the Adelaide Ravens. Ravens 50, the Firebirds 35, out by 15 now. And the stepping infringement.
Return the ball straight away, please. There's no need to throw it behind. Up here.
Durbridge just with a bit of a reprimand there for time wasting. And again,
Throw in.
we see another turnover as a pass goes astray.
Just in.
40 turnovers now for the Firebirds, 35 for the Ravens. 54 penalties.
Contact, wing attack.
Ravens only 24, that's gotta hurt. Miller right, nice work from Karen Wright. Good ball control to just get that one off to Carla Stewart. Oh, Stewart, short from in close.
We see the quick transition. Connell onto Miller. We had great space coming through the court, the Firebirds.
Offside, wing defence, free pass. Offside.
Still haven't managed to put it through the hoop.
Possession, shooter.
Stewart will try here, and this time it goes through. And a big cheer from the crowd for that goal. Miller back to Finnan. Connell. Oh, nice quick work.
And good position by Stewart then on Alison Tucker. Always had that baseline open. Well, the Firebirds seem to have found some life in the last 5 minutes of this quarter.
50 plays 37, 2 minutes 10 remaining. Matthews on to right, into Carla Stewart.
Throw in.
And just another error there.
Advantage of
Ball.
Johnson, goal attack.
Finds Tucker. Oi! Just a little too much Vegemite for breakfast. Tump has just thrown a few too many away. 13 turnovers against her name. 3 penalties, but 2 intercepts. I'm sure that's something that she'll work on in training. Nice work there. And the Ravens coming up with the possessions to the very end. Tump holds it up. Now Heinrich gets position. And Kristen Heinrich gets her 25th goal of the match. 25 from 33 at 76%. And the Ravens galloping away to their first victory of the 2001 season. 51 plays 37 as Stewart plucks that one out of the air. And finishes it off nicely, Carla Stewart. She now has 13 from 14 attempts. Danny Grant off to Tump. Heinrich gets around Finnan. Matthews pinned for the offside. Under a minute remaining in the match. Durbridge to Tump. Quick hands onto Heinrich. Plenty of pressure from Finnan. And Heinrich. Oh, off the back of the rim, but strong in the air. Gets her own rebound. Oh, off the back of the rim, and this time dropping in, though, to bring up the 52nd goal for the Adelaide Ravens.
Wing defence, contact in the goal third. Yes.
Can the Firebirds just get another one on the board before full time?
Contact, goal attack.
And I think they're going to run out of time here. Adelaide Ravens with possession. And in resetting, Tucker. And the Ravens with the final possession. Danny Grant, the high ball into Durbridge. She didn't see it. Throw in was called, but it's not needed because that is full time here at the arena in Brisbane. The Adelaide Ravens, 52, quite comfortable winners over the Queensland Firebirds, 38. And while it promised to be a great match in that first quarter, it really did disintegrate in the latter stages. Let's take a look at the match statistics. Look at those penalties. The Firebirds 56 over the Adelaide Ravens 27. Rebounds 5 apiece. Turnovers high for both teams, way too high. 41 for the match for the Firebirds, 39 for the Adelaide Ravens. There were some impressive intercepts, but there were also some wayward passes that came up with intercepts. 11 intercepts for the Ravens, 9 for the Queensland Firebirds. The attempts at goal, look at that. The Adelaide Ravens had 68, the Firebirds had 53. Conversion rate, the percentage, 76% for the Ravens, 72 for the Firebirds. And that final score, the Adelaide Ravens victorious, 52 over the Queensland Firebirds, 38. And Vicky Wilson has a very happy Trudy Gardner.
Your first win in 12 months, it must be very pleased.
Yeah, very pleased, but it was a very ordinary game. A lot of turnovers that we created that we could have probably won by a few more. Same with them as well. It wasn't a pretty game to watch, but great to have a win on the board.
Well, the first quarter was really tough. Both teams, I thought, settled well, but that second quarter, you doubled the Firebird score.
Yep. I thought we turned it over quite well. We still threw a lot away, but our down-court pressure really put them off. I think they threw a lot away in that quarter, so I think it was both ways. Unfortunately, that they didn't turn it over, so we're just happy that we got a win on the board. So.
Defensively, you were very disciplined. The Firebirds, unfortunately for them, that's where they sort of fell down. They had a lot of penalties against them.
Yeah, that's what we've been really working on, our defensive pressure all the way down the court. I think Mel turned over a lot down through the middle, and Kristen's hands over the ball were fantastic, and that down court pressure really helps us as defenders. So it was fantastic work by all our attackers right through.
It was a great game. Congratulations, Trudy, and on your performance also. Back to you, Simone.
Well, an encouraging win there for the Adelaide Ravens. We hope you enjoyed that game. Make sure you join us again next weekend when the Melbourne Kestrels take on the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Steve Rebillard and Shelley O'Donnell will be in Melbourne for that game, and you can see all the action next Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Next week, I'll be joined by Anne Sargent in Sydney for the match between the Sydney Swifts and the Queensland Firebirds. That match will go to air Sunday morning at 9:30. And don't forget to also log on to our website, abc.net.au/netball. I'm Simone Thurtell on behalf of Vicky Wilson and all of the ABC crew. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you again next week.
Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do.
Round 3. And the Sandpipers posted a solid win at home against the Perth Orioles. The Ravens made their first win a big one, beating the Firebirds by 14. The Thunderbirds enjoyed the same margin against the Swifts, while the Melbourne derby was much closer, with Phoenix pipping the Kestrels by 4. So still, it's last year's grand finalists who are on top and unbeaten. The Thunderbirds ahead of Phoenix only on 4 and against, and indeed only by 1 percentage point. The Sandpipers sit alone in third on 4 points. 4 teams each have a win, the Ravens, Swifts, Orioles and Firebirds, and it's the home team tonight, the Kestrels, who find themselves 8th. Well, I'm sure their former skipper, Shelley O'Donnell, takes no pleasure in their plight. Shelley, what's your old team got to do?
Well, the Kestrels can draw a lot of confidence from last week's performance against Melbourne Phoenix. I think that they really put it to the Phoenix, and all they need to do is get a good start against the Thunderbirds. They are the one of only 3 teams in the competitions that have ever beaten the Thunderbirds. So who knows, if they get a good start and they're playing out there with a lot of confidence, you never can tell what can happen in a game like this.
One of their problems is going to be Jackie Delaney, the Thunderbirds player, back after almost a year out with an injury, looks to be hitting her straps.
Definitely so, and Jackie's just a superb player. She's just the speed across the court. I would expect Merrill Garbutt to line up against her and have the difficult task of trying to contain her, but we would hope that Nicole Richardson and Mel Vivian give her a lot of support out the front of the circle to perhaps block that entrance for Jackie getting in the circle.
Away we go, and of course it's the Thunderbirds in the silver. And a near early intercept for Nicole Richardson, left knee strapped, the Kestrels centre. And, Jackie Delaney, big day for her, given her the captaincy to celebrate an important milestone. Michelle Fippard and Pete Plummer looking after this game.
Kick, free pass.
And Shelley, not a huge crowd in, but they'll be making plenty of noise for Kestrels, hoping they can chalk up their first win against a top side.
That's right, Steve, and it will be difficult for them against the Thunderbirds. What they need to do is make sure they get a good start, though, because they don't want to be chasing. I think in the first 3 games they were chasing, and Thunderbirds aren't the sort of team that you want to be chasing.
You can count on the fingers of one hand the number of times Thunderbirds have been caught, given a start. So, it's Melbourne Kestrels in the orange, and Amanda Burton, Sinna Neal, Danny Smith, Nick Richardson, Melanie Vivian. Plenty of experience in Richardson, Vivian and Garbutt. At Anne Harrison at goalkeeper, and of course coach is Marg Lind. The average number of games in the league is 30, but contrast that with the Thunderbirds, who are playing with Cassie Martin up front, formerly Cassie Mogg, Jackie Delaney, Hodge, Sanders and Squire in the mid-court, and Kath Harvey-Williams. And Demelza Fellows gets the start at goalkeeper ahead of Sarah Sutter. Margengo is the coach. So Demelza Fellows, former Queenslander, that's the goalkeeper just throwing the ball away. She's got the start, and only a couple of Bank Trophy matches under her belt. Sorry.
It's not the best throw-in that Demelza would have liked for the first, I think it might have been the first throw-in of the game. What, threw it straight to Sinna Neal?
Well, Sinna Neal and Demelza Fellows are going to know each other quite well from Youth Cup days. Richardson.
You're defending out of court, goalkeeper. It's on the court where you are.
So Fellows, who in the program is just given a height of about 182 centimetres, but standing near her, I can tell you she's more like 185 or 187. It's a great pickup for the Thunderbirds. Snaffled her from Queensland.
And then the Kestrels, she was actually with us last
She played a couple of quarters with the Kestrels, didn't she?
That's right. So I think the Kestrels, after losing Janine Illich to pregnancy, a bit disappointed that they lost someone like Demelza, but she's gone over there to Adelaide, and I'm sure it'll be a good move for her.
And the Kestrels fans encouraged to come along in something orange, and rather Dutch. Neal, Danny Smith, plenty of pace. Quite the right ball. Fellows to Harvey Williams. Difficult to call her Harvey Williams instead of Harvey.
Yeah, it was the right idea. It was just a little bit too far past Danny Smith. So there's been a couple of errors in the opening minutes, but hopefully they'll be able to settle.
Shot or pass for Cassie Martin. Playing her 43rd game. That's 71% this season. She's just building up to her career average of around 76. So a good start from the Thunderbirds, just what the Kestrels didn't want to allow them.
That's right. I think then they desperately need to get the next goal just to make it more of a contest. I know it's only 4-1, but like I said, once the Thunderbirds hit their straps, there's no stopping them.
And Sinna Neal just really playing on Harvey for the first time. A little bit of trouble there on her, and Harvey took the intercept, got them going forward, and there's another one for Jackie Delaney. 70% this season. She's playing game number 50, which is why she's been given the captaincy, we imagine. And you consider she had almost the whole season out last year with a knee injury, and she's also had a baby to interrupt the number of games she's played. To get to 50 is quite an achievement.
That's right. It takes a while to get to 50. There's only 14 games during the season, so it's a few seasons.
Contact, wing defence.
Thunderbirds players tend to pick up a couple at the end of the season, don't they? Because they're a permanent fixture in the semis.
That's right. I think that's why Peter Squire's currently sitting number 1 on the number of games played. It's also interesting to note that Jackie Delaney is sitting, I think, 7th in the highest number of goals ever scored in the league. She's just sitting right behind Vicky Wilson. Before she came into this game, she was on 1,467, so she might even notch up her 1,500th goal this game. We'll soon find out in the next hour.
Was that 33, the magic number she's got to get? Sinna Neal has got her first goal. They just start their opportunities, really. 5 attempts to the Thunderbirds' 8. So Demelza Fellows and Kath Harvey-Williams, Peter Squire squeezing out the turnovers. Hodge, nice roll from Cassie Martin, doing plenty of work in the circle, just got to get it to her.
Oh, that was better pressure by Kestrels, really forcing Rebecca Sanders to have to look backwards, and no one was there for her. So that's the sort of pressure that they need to put on the Thunderbirds goalers.
Sinner Neal picks up the loose ball, finds Burton. Back to Melanie Vivian. Oh, it's nearly a held ball, yes.
Yeah. I think there's probably an opening there at the top there. I think either Amanda Burton had that top or the middle corridor there, but unfortunately for the Kestrels, that turnover that they got before wasn't able to be capitalised on. Sanders.
Someone's lost a bit of clothing or something in the... It's a ribbon. That's got to be dispensed with. I imagine that's a Kestrels ribbon, seeing as blue and orange.
Funny about that.
Delaney. Oh, she won't get that. Well, she'll have a mighty rebound.
It's a couple of times, sorry, Steve, but a couple of times that they've allowed Jackie to get under there and get the rebounds. I think they have to work harder, both Morel and Anne Harrison, to keep Jackie away from the rebounding position.
And Cassie Martin. So it's 9-2. So the Kestrels with a job on their hands now. 7 minutes played and they're down by 7. And they didn't hear you, Shelley, when you said they needed to make the good start.
I think they just have to remember that even though they've had a pretty poor start and they're sitting 7 goals behind, they can't let it get any worse. They have to look at scoring the next few opportunities and getting the turnovers.
Obstruction against Fellows. Another shot for Burton. And she's 2 from 3. 69% for the season. It's a vast difference in the number of games played in the league by the two teams. So the average number of games for the starting 7 for the Thunderbirds is in the 50s. It's 30 for the Kestrels. And Demelza Fellows only played 2, so she's the least. Put Sutter back in there, and she's played 67, but she hasn't got the start today.
Yeah, there's probably only 3 players out there that are very experienced in the Kestrels lineup: Richardson, Vivian and Garbutt, and they need to get a lot out of them tonight. They need to be at their best to help create scoring opportunities for the 2 young shooters.
Yeah, most experienced player in terms of games is Morel Garbutt with 56. And you look across at the Thunderbirds, Martin, Delaney, Hodge, Sanders, Squire and Harvey Williams have all played more than that. And that starts to ram home. Oh, down goes Richardson, given a fine old bump by Squire.
I'm sure she didn't mean it, however, it was a fair knock that Nicole got. Nicole's a bit of a tough cookie. I'm sure she'll be right, although it did look like a shoulder, which is...
Back underway, nearly. Wait for the whistle before Morel Garbutt can recommence. Down by 6, Kestrels. Very tight at the top when you consider 1 percentage point between Thunderbirds and Phoenix. It's just looking like another season where 2 champion clubs who've had all 4 titles between them are going to do it again, Shelley.
Yes, they have had a very impressive start, and particularly last week they had a great game against the Swifts, the Thunderbirds, knocking them off by 14 goals. So certainly very impressive start to the season. Kestrels really needed that goal, and they won't be happy with the way that was forced over the baseline.
Garbutt, Smith, really struggling to advance it into the goal third. Penalty helps. Smith. Sinner Neal. Oh, look, 2 back on Burton, who looked at Michelle Fippard and got no help.
Yes, I think it was certainly a contact on Sinner. It was certainly Demelza's ball. However, just looking at Kestrels, just finding it so hard to get it into their goal circle, so they're not even giving their shooters an opportunity to get a goal on the board.
7 attempts for the Kestrels, 13. Make that 14 for the Thunderbirds.
And Senna Neal is normally scoring. Her average number of goals this season is 30 per game, and to think that she's only got 1 on the board and we're 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. So we really need to start trying to be patient to work the ball into the goal circle.
Sanders across to Martin. And it's just looking that much easier for the Thunderbirds. Just had a few close games well, a couple of close games to start the season. Beat the Ravens 49-45 and then 53-45 over the Orioles. Just look at that fine percentage building for Cassie Martin. Then, as you say, beat the Swifts by 14. Thunderbirds look like they're building nicely. Burton.
That was a better passage of play. It was nicely... Amanda used the baseline nicely then, although she needs to get those goals in under the post.
Start to make those mistakes when you don't get the opportunities, I guess. Starting to wonder if you can receive the ball at all.
Need to capitalise on all the Thunderbirds' errors. Need to make sure that they get this one and score.
Where you are, goalkeeper. Stand beside her.
So, Anne Harrison
Where you are.
playing her 19th game in the league today. Richardson, but Delaney just too quick.
There was a nice intercept by Jackie Delaney coming through there. I don't think Nick knew that she was around. She just came from nowhere.
Well, if you don't give Jackie Delaney some respect for her defence, then you'll do so at your cost. Makes a sneaky contribution when her team doesn't have the ball.
She certainly does. She's one goal attack that does pick up a lot through the mid-court, so you have to be very wary of where she is. It was a nice move by Burton. The ball just wasn't placed properly by Danny Smith. So Kestrels are trying really hard. It's just that they're just making those unforced errors.
Squire through Hodges' hands, and Harrison first to it. So here's a rare turnover, but Harvey gets it back immediately. Australian captain swings it through Delaney to Hodge. Delaney. Thank you very much. 5 from 6 for Jackie Delaney. And Martin 10 from 11. So more opportunities, and the shooting percentage is right up there. Richardson.
Well done to Nicole Richardson. She's picked up a few intercepts in this first quarter, so she's certainly trying her guts out.
A couple of minutes left in the first quarter, and it's 15-5. And the Thunderbirds are giving them nothing, but Demelza Fellows has moved a bit fast.
That just shows lack of confidence when you're not putting those balls up.
Beside the keeper.
Burton.
Okay.
Senna Neal. And for Senna, that's just her 3rd goal of the game, and 3 also for Burton. So 90 seconds left in the first quarter. First quarter dominated by the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds conceding an average of 43 goals per game to start the season. They're scoring 52. Well, they restrict Kestrels to 7 or 8 goals per quarter. They'll do even better. Delaney. Martin working with Hodge. The contact against Vivian outside the circle. Last minute, first quarter. And impressive stats for Martin. 11 from 12.
Contact, goal attack, centre third.
Garbutt. Richardson available, top of the circle.
Goalkeeper, shuttle pass.
Another penalty against Demelza Fellows. That's her 7th. So she's got the most penalties against her. 20 penalties to 10 against the Thunderbirds, but the score is really telling. And a scoring ratio of 2-1. Delaney, fires it quickly into Martin. And the Kestrels will have to be quick to reply before the first break. Neal, Richardson. crashes into the wall. So I wonder if there's enough runoff at that end, but she's okay. And the timekeeper's up. Prue Plummer says that'll do for the first 15 minutes. Won't please Ma Glynn, the Kestrels coach, though, when she checks the scoreboard and sees that the visitors, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, have got them 17-8 at quarter time. Well, they were just too good in most departments, Shelley.
Yeah, that's right. And really, it's a telling story there when you look at the number of shots that the Melbourne Kestrels have actually had. Both goalers have only had put up 13 goals between them, and their percentages are sitting very low. So that's probably the telling tale, but it's also the turnovers. The Kestrels attacking in. Neil's had 5 turnovers, which, you know, Marglin's not going to be too happy about.
So the margin for the Thunderbirds at the first break is 9. Halfway through second quarter now, and it's still the Thunderbirds by 11. Hodge, Mr. Sanders, and Delaney just shook off Garbutt.
Yes, that was a nice move. She moved forward to create the backspace, and then the ball was put nicely over the top.
See, it could have been a goal attack.
Oh, see, I know them. I know all the moves.
You call them. Burton. Back to Vivian, through Smith, Richardson. And finally, Burton frees herself up on baseline, and it won't go. And the Sinner-Neils run it down.
It's a nice rebound there. It was...
Burton swings around the front of Fellows, so she's just starting to work her out, I think. And a nice goal for Amanda Burton, who got a good record against the Thunderbirds, 84%, but she's probably only played them a couple of times. Career 81%. Burton, this is her 16th North Bank Trophy game. So whoosh, and Delaney gets a 12th. A bit of a slow start, so may not get the 33 she needs for 1500. Fellows finds the floor.
Amanda Burton, you can see that she's showing a lot of confidence out there now, and she's really trying to rev the rest of the teammates around her.
She's still got nearly 6 minutes left in this quarter, and they've already outscored themselves from the first. 8 goals in the first quarter, 9 already in the second, so that's a positive sign.
It certainly is.
To Harrison. Smith. Richardson looking for a move from Neil, but she was also looking for a taller player, I think. Pass did not give her a great opportunity. Hodge to Delaney. And Martin was sandwiched. And let it go against her.
Yeah, there you go. That's an interesting one.
There you go. There's a very diplomatic response from Shelley O'Donnell, who is always a favourite of the umpires.
Oh, they're always right, aren't they?
It doesn't matter if
the
they're
only
wrong.
reason I said was because she was coming, Narelle Garbutt was coming from behind, and the umpires don't tend to like the batting from behind.
Kestrels won't be complaining about the penalty count at the moment. It's 31-16 against the Thunderbirds, whose self-discipline in that stat sort of varies a little. Attracted a lot of whistle the first couple of years, then they sort of pulled right back. On the better side of the penalty count last year or two.
Garnish, contact, centre, contact in the back keeper. Yes.
Martin.
Sorry,
18 from 19, that's awesome. She's 95%, Cassie Martin.
Yeah, it's a great effort by Cassie. It was a better effort by Narelle Garbutt to keep Jackie out of the rebound space too.
Richardson. Contact against Squire, I think, but she's wanting to participate and play. So it was retaken, and a short shot snaffled by Fellows. Harvey Williams, Squire. was wrong-footed by the pass. Delaney, so the Kestrels shooting at 71 and 67%. It's okay, they just need more ball. Oh, Squire, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it was a great effort there by Squire.
And once again, they punished them. Oh.
Contact, goal defence.
Contact on Harrison, or by Harrison, I should say. They worked hard for the turnover, and someone like Squire or Harvey Williams turned it over again. And
it's shattering, really.
Got to put too fine a point on it, yes. Martin, 20 from 22. I should get dragged. That's terrible. Great effort from Cassie. He sort of makes an understated contribution to this great side. Too much fuss about it. Unlike most of her teammates, she's not an Australian player. But boy, she gets the job done.
Yeah, she certainly does, and she creates a lot in that goal circle. Like you said, she's not one of their big names, but she certainly does the job down there. Creates a lot of space and works very well with Jackie Delaney, and it showed last year with Anna Colbeck.
5 of their starting 7 are current or recent Australian players. Thunderbirds, it's a tremendous strength. Richardson, 32 to 19. Oh, down goes Melanie Vivian. Oh, just play on, no whistle. Vivian was expecting some help from somewhere. But seeing she got back straight to her feet and was deemed an accident, there was no whistle, and it caught everyone a bit by surprise, I think. Just walking around a little gingerly. Hasn't asked for time, though. So inside the last couple of minutes of the second quarter. So Burton, the restart. Richardson and Sanders coming together. Richardson will take it. And, a bit over a minute to go until half-time. Neal, a little bit of a touch from Harvey. Took it away from Neal. And Thunderbirds ball just outside the circle. Fellows to take it. Sanders did well. Gee, they're an athletic mid-court. Squire, Sanders and Hodge. And now Cassie Martin just to anchor that left foot. Pretty good position, and she doesn't miss from there. 21 from 23, and applauds the work of her teammates up court. Well, she might. Smith to Burton, looking for Neal, but Harvey so quick. Penalty goes her way, and Neal, oh, that came off the hand of Fellows. A little bit lucky, but it's their 20th goal. So 12 in the second quarter for the Kestrels after 8 in the first.
Barney job side, centre.
Delaney. Just like that. A very casual at times shooting style from Jackie Delaney. Makes it look easy. And she's 13 from 17. Neal. And just a few seconds left. I can see the timekeeper getting up, and with Harvey taking that intercept, Squire through Sanders to Hodge to Martins. He needs to fire it quickly, and it doesn't go anyway. That is half-time. It was a sweet move down court from the Thunderbirds. Not finished this time. Kestrels will be grateful for that, because it's the Thunderbirds by 14 now at half-time, 34 to 20.
The Kestrels have a lot of work to do if they're going to get back into this game. I mean, it's amazing to think that the Adelaide Thunderbirds have had way more penalties than what the Melbourne Kestrels have, but I think the telling stat is the turnovers. Melbourne Kestrels have had 14 turnovers, and most of those have come through their attack end, so they're just not getting the attempts in there, or they're not giving their shooters enough attempts. And look at the percentages. The Thunderbirds are shooting very well with a team percentage of 83% as compared to the Melbourne Kestrels on 67.
So the Thunderbirds, 17 in the first quarter, 17 in the second, 34 to 20. They lead it at half-time. Underway in the third quarter. So much to do for the Kestrels, but they'll give it a good shot. And they improved by 50% their number of goals in the second quarter, moved from 8 to 12. The trouble is the Thunderbirds just backed up their 17-goal first quarter with another in the second. 34 to 20. So before the game, had a quick talk to Marg Engo, Thunderbirds coach, and she said she's willing to try some new combinations. And evident right from the start when she put on, surprisingly, Demelza Fellows for Sarah Sutter. But she knows, I think, that with Squire, Harvey Williams and Sutter having played so many games together as that back three, a successful back three, that there are going to be times when one or two of them aren't available or may retire, so you've got to start working them in.
Certainly do. And it was a good opportunity for Demelza to get out there in the first quarter.
And see that Sarah Sutter, who brings the ball down after that shot from Burton, is on. And a number of changes made. Alex Hodge is now at centre, and Rebecca Sanders has been given the rest because Laura von Berto has come on at wing attack. And also, well, we were only joking about Cassie Martin being dragged, Shelley, but it happened. But she's retired on 21 from 24, and I know Marg Engo will be happy with that. But Anna Colbeck gets a chance in the second half. Squire, Harvey Williams, Hodge, Delaney.
Notice that Marga Engo has been playing around with shooting combinations, as she always does during the season or at the start of the season. I suppose it keeps their shooters on their toes and really try to work out what's going to be the combination that's going to work best for them.
A fingertip intercept from Squire. Harvey to Colbeck, who slightly rolled an ankle a moment ago. And see how she's moving. Nearly called for time. In fact, she did put the hands in the tee position, but decided to try and run out the ankle strain. She seems to be okay as Delaney pops in another. 15 from 19 now for Jackie Delaney, who I don't think she can get to 33 goals. We've got half an eye on that target. Take it to 1,500 in the competition over the years. Colbeck shoots successfully over Garbutt.
It's twice that Colbeck's used the backspace. She's gone forward and opened the backspace up. Garbutt needs to be on her toes, and while she sort of had a crack at that one, she needs to have a real crack at it next time.
Squire has had a big game today. Colbeck picks up the scraps and goes to the ring with it for a 39-21, 18-goal lead.
Luck certainly goes your way when you're up by that many goals, doesn't it?
Well, it's a 5-1 start for the Thunderbirds this quarter. It's a worrying sign for the Kestrels, who must have thought, well, gee, they've made this many changes where it might be a chance here.
Well, I think they had to do something. They had to change the whole dynamics of the team. They had to put people in different positions to see if they could create something up in the attack end. Melanie Vivian, whilst we didn't see her in centre last year, she played in the state team in centre and captained that side and played very well. I was quite impressed with her wing attack game, actually.
So, yes, just going through the change on the Kestrel side, because Michelle Rasoukas is on, and Richardson is back to wing defence, and Vivian is centre. Smith wing attack. They've really jigged things there. Rasoukas was pretty much a permanent fixture last year.
She was there. She was certainly an option for us. We had Abby Tier also, who was someone that was out there probably the majority of the time, but it was between those two as to who got out. Once Amanda Burton sort of showed us her stuff and what she could do.
You had some good options there, didn't you? Rasoukas, Abby Tier and Burton. Just if someone was off that night, on would come the other.
Yeah, Abby had some great games. She wasn't always on the ball, but when she was certainly hard to contain.
So Sutter with the ball, and 30 the other day. The parties next week will all be there. Delaney straight to Colbeck.
Yeah, this is the stage of the game. I mean, it's already happened as they've gone up by 20 goals now. But the Thunderbirds just don't let up. They just keep powering home, and they really rub your noses in it. So Kestrels will need to get some pride back and try and get some goals on the board and try and pull this margin back to a decent margin.
Well, they've started. Oh, Kath Harvey. It's back to Sutter. She knew she'd be there. Sutter for a moment stuck. But Harvey with the backup, and Alex Hodge just shoots the skipper a look and says, well, couldn't do much about that. Rasukas to Burton.
That was a better timing there by Amanda Burton. A nice pass in there by Rasukas.
Just their second goal of the quarter, which is 5.5 minutes old.
It's good pressure by the Kestrels, forcing Jackie to play her own ball, it's called.
Replay call coming from Drew Plummer on the far side, who does not miss much.
Nice try there by Catherine to try and get away with that one.
Vivian.
That's better. It makes it so much easier for the goalers if your feeders can get to the top of the ring. But that's not what they wanted to finish it off.
Burton insisting, I think, that, yeah, Sarah Sutter had a hand on her arm, and she's querying the point with Michelle Phipper, the umpire on this side, says that'll do. Need to be told how to umpire the game. I'll call it as I see it. Mind you, the shot was that short. I think there might have been some kind of contact.
There must have been something there. I'm sure Amanda's makes the ring usually. But the umpire's not going to change her decision. Now I think Kestrels are really starting to force the ball, force the long ball. They're not working it through short and sharp.
Burton, third penalty against her. Melza Fellows, she's had a pretty good first half, I thought. She gave away a few penalties in the first quarter, but as you're pointing out to me, Shirley, that doesn't matter when you're getting the result.
Well, no, not really. I mean, if it was a close game, you'd be disappointed giving the opposition another shot. But, you know, within a game that there was such a margin, it really wasn't something to worry about. Although, you know, you need to tighten up on those penalties.
And the Kestrels bench concerned about the way this match is unfolding. Hodge.
Everyone's getting in there for a tip. Alex Hodge had a nice tip then, which was snapped up by one of their defenders.
Smith.
That's a nice move there. Nice timing. I think Amanda works that back space really nicely. She just needs to do it more often.
So Demelza Fellows, what do you call that look, Shelley? You're the expert.
Oh, I don't know, but I know what she's been doing all day, don't we? Thinking about the game.
A good half a game too from Demelza Fellows. And I'm sure Margango pulled the right rein, giving her a start. Was, I think, surrounded by Kath Harvey-Williams and Peter Squire and Rebecca Sanders. You know, it's a good way to be introduced at the top level. I mean, she's played a couple of games, but not a starting goalkeeper in this Thunderbird side.
That's right. It's nice to be slotted in there amongst the experienced heads of Harvey Williams and Peter Squire, as you mentioned, Steve.
Garbutt, Richardson. Squire to take it, and 45-23. They've really built a big lead here, and a rare soft turnover from the Thunderbirds. Vivian Rasukas.
That was a nice ball.
That pass, wasn't
it was a bullet pass.
Well taken, well received, and well finished by Rasukas. He can take plenty of credit for that one. A few more like that.
It was good play by Michelle Rasukas. She needs to do a lot more of that, though.
Kept in by Burton, but only to the advantage of the Thunderbirds. Delaney, Von Berto.
That was a lovely drive by Von Berto. A lot of speed. And
She looks not unlike Rebecca Sanders and moves in a similar way, doesn't she?
Hold time.
Well, Burton doing well to keep it in, but swooping on it. I think the performance of the Thunderbirds here has quietened the crowd somewhat. They were hopeful of a big showing from the Kestrels after only just losing last week to the reigning champions Phoenix, but the start by the Thunderbirds in both the first and third quarters has really wiped out any chance I think that the Kestrels have had as Richardson feels for that troublesome knee. I think she's had a light week at training because of it.
Advantage, contact, wing defence.
Smith looking for some help.
Contact centre.
Vivian provides it. Rusukas picks up the wayward ball. And well finished. It's a 12-5 quarter so far for the Thunderbirds. Rusukas, got to give her the ball more often. 2 out of 2.
And the Kestrels there weren't happy with that decision by the umpire. I think they thought that it came off one of the Thunderbirds' hands. I didn't quite see it, but judging by the crowd and every player on court.
Advantage break.
Just watching out the back of the court there that Rebecca Sanders looks to be warming up again, so maybe she'll come on in the last quarter, but still 3:20 to go in this one. Richardson, Rusukas, and Smith. Harvey and Sada just set themselves up in the circle so well.
It was always going to be Harvey's, that one.
Colbeck just swings it across through Hodge, gets the return ball, and they're doing it so well. So she's warming down or warming up?
Oh, I think she's warming up, actually, and I wouldn't mind betting that she comes on in and replaces Alex Hodge there, perhaps, just to give her a run with Laura von Berto. As you mentioned earlier, Margangove is playing around with combinations, and it's a good opportunity for her to put various combinations on the court.
I always imagined, and you'd know better than me, having played at the top level with Rebecca, that she would be one of the fitter, quicker, sort of aerobically more impressive players going around. She looks like she is one fit player.
Yeah, try playing on her. she's like a rabbit. She doesn't stop. She certainly works you hard, that's for sure.
Set of passes with the Kestrels, and it's 50-25. The numbers are easy and pretty awesome from the Kestrels.
That was bad luck by Sarah Sutter. I thought she managed to keep that ball in play.
I think she's just stepped into the centre third. Might have been it.
Opposite me. Contact,
Harvey.
goal attack.
So 50-25 inside the last couple of minutes of the third. So it's business as usual, even with two vastly changed lineups in this third quarter, as Margangove set out to experiment a little with new combinations, and as Marglin looked to haul in the deficit, but she's not been able to do that. And a more successful operation for Margangove, one would have to say, as Smith finds Vivian. Rusukas.
Obstruction, shuttle pass.
Obstruction against Kath Harvey-Williams. Michelle Rusukas retakes it. And out it comes. Oh, Burton just checks where Sarah Sutter was. Finds not really there for company and can safely, comfortably take the shot. Hodge, Delaney, von Berto. Hodge lets that roll out, knowing it came off Melanie Vivian. Still plenty of time for another here from the Thunderbirds before the next break. Delaney, sweet as. And 21 from 25.
Advantage break, wing attack.
Richardson puts the brakes on. Smith. Zukas gets it from Burton. She shoots over Sarah Sutter very nicely. And Zukas 3 from 4. Oh, that was an optimistic effort from Harvey, who sensed, I think, that the timekeeper was about to get up, and he's up now, and we'll let Prue Plummer know. So we've just about had enough in the third. There it is. And another good quarter from the Thunderbirds. They're continuing to build this lead. And three-quarter time, it's out to 24, the lead. 51-27.
Yes, Steve, they certainly haven't lost anything with the change in goals and bringing Colbeck on. She's been shooting rather nicely at 75%, and Jackie Delaney's even increased her percentage now to around, what is it, 84%. So great shooting there by the Thunderbirds, and those intercepts by Squire and Harvey are certainly, those two are certainly getting in the way for the Kestrels, so they just can't seem to get it into their goal circle, and that seems to be the telling tale.
A very even and consistent effort from the Thunderbirds. 17 goals in each quarter. 51-27, they lead it.
Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do.
15 minutes left for the Kestrels. Try and get some respectability in the score. It's certainly looking like a hefty loss, unless they can string some action together now, as on comes Meredith Strawn at goal shooter for the Kestrels, and also Kirsten Daly at either end of the court. And that, I guess, is a sign for Marg Lind that she knows what the result's going to be. She's trying to get these players some court time at this level.
Anna Colbeck's only been on for the half, so.
Sanders actually, she was clapping the work of a teammate, expecting Colbeck to take the shot, and it came back out. Colbeck wanted to work a 1-2. Contact against Strawn, and Kath Harvey has visited the floor a few more times than she would have liked. Sometimes some impact as well. So inside, almost just 9 minutes to go. 56-28, so it's still a generous margin or ratio in favour of Thunderbirds, 2-1.
It was rather ambitious there of Jackie Delaney to try and whack that one through to Anna Colbeck. It is getting quite messy now. Both teams are really forcing turnovers that just don't necessarily need to be there. It was a nice intercept there by Catherine Harvey, though. You can always rely on Catherine in situations when when you need an intercept.
Richardson to Garbutt. Just looking at Kestrel's lowest score against the Thunderbirds. That was back in 1997. It was 33. One would think they could get 5 goals in the next 8 minutes. It just depends on the defence of the Thunderbirds, whether they want to allow them that. Richardson trying. Get it to Strawn. And the Kestrels fans look like they've just switched off a little. Understandably. Not been their night. Sutter, and Richardson had to be careful with that challenge. She wasn't going to pull out of it, just looking for a touch, a clean contact. Colbeck.
They're really placing the ball nicely over to Colbeck, Thunderbirds. She uses the back space really nicely.
Sanders, Harvey Williams. Delaney found a little too easily, really.
It's the only way to go, straight in. Direct is the easiest option. It's not always the easiest option, but it's always the best way to go if you can get there.
Back to the first half, 21 from 24 from Cassie Martin at 88%. Delaney still playing, 24 from 30 on 80%. So good return from those two players who've been averaging in the low 70s.
It's a better team percentage there by the Thunderbirds, sitting at 81% at the moment. I think Marg Angover would be very happy with their shooters' performance tonight.
You almost expect that little tap from Harvey to Sato before. They work the rebound between them.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack.
Richardson. Been a lot of, I think, as you described it, messy play. And down goes Sutter again. I don't think this floor is any slipperier than others. In our round one match, we saw Phoenix and Swifts. It wasn't bringing players to ground as often as it is today.
No, it didn't seem to be. I think the surface has gone all, from what's been said by the players, is quite nice to play on. So
I think what we're seeing too, particularly in the second half here, Shelley, is a lot of players who don't normally match up on each other, with both coaches pulling the changes, not used to each other's game perhaps. Is that a factor sometimes?
yeah, sometimes, and also the fact that they're desperately trying to get the turnovers, and there is a lot of body out there, so sometimes you're just getting knocked around by your opponent and maybe being put off balance.
I'd like to have you drop by our ABC Netball website. All the results and stories. Got some good competitions coming too soon at abc.net.au/netballs. I'm sure you drop by. .38-31.
Kestrels have managed to get a couple of quick goals on the board, which has certainly fired up the crowd in some way.
No, they need a bit of G'ing up, don't they? Oh, Colbeck. Gets the contact against her. Garbutt to Richardson. Strawn well in the game. Richardson. Sukas. Into the corner. Van Rensburg has their hands full with Peter Squire. Sutter finds Harvey. Sanders and Squire. The old firm. Delaney. Last 4 minutes. 28 the lead. And it was 24, I think, at three-quarter time. Probably a slightly better quarter. The second and fourth quarters shape up as the better efforts from Kestrels. Van Rensburg, Garbutt. I suppose the best the Kestrels can take out of this match is a couple of lessons, Shelley, and not just about the Thunderbirds, but generally in the league.
Yes, they've introduced a few new players to the competition, and they'll certainly know what's hit them, because it's certainly very tough out there in this high standard competition.
When the Thunderbirds just squeezed out a few early turnovers and got a run on, I think they were up 9-2 early. Really set the scene for what would happen in the rest of the match, but the Kestrels at times, when they had an offer of a teammate in support, didn't take the first option, and you don't often get a second. A couple of held balls, and the turnovers came. Richardson and Rensburg looking for Razukas. So they started in goal with Burton and Neal. Now Strawn and Razukas. Had lots of changes up and down the court. And Harrison started with Garbutt back in defence. Justin Daly finishing the game at goalkeeper. And they've also played with the mid-court right through, as Margolind looks for a combination that can match this brilliant Thunderbirds lineup. Colbeck gives a glare at umpire Michelle Phippa. Didn't time she felt it was a hand on the arm. Whoa, that was a wayward pass. .145 left in the match. Squire nearly got sandwiched, still got the ball away. Sanders.
Advantage offside, wing defence.
Berto. Contact against Garbutt. Delaney step in and take the shot. Back herself from that distance. 26 from 33. So it looks like in Jackie Delaney's next game, she'll pass that 1,500 goals mark total in the league. So pull out my trusty program and scan to see which is the Thunderbirds' next match. That's in fact at home against the Sandpipers. Nice milestone to achieve at Etzer Park for Jackie Delaney, who re-announced herself to the Australian selectors with this performance, if not that attempt. Colbeck. She's just goals have gone off a little in this last quarter. Anna Colbeck, she's 14 from 24. That's just 58%. I'm pleased with it. We've got a couple of tough calls.
Goal attack in the centre third. Take it in the goal third.
Last 20 seconds of the match. Thunderbirds. Well, this is shaping as one of their best wins ever against the Kestrels. They did score 76 against in 1997. 61 to 32. Their lowest score ever, the Kestrels, against the Thunderbirds. And a 29-goal win for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They are really gathering some momentum now through 4 rounds. And the statistics, again, well, at 74% for the Thunderbirds, really kicked them along to a big score, 61-32. They had 82 attempts to 51, so they certainly had plenty more of the ball. They looked after those turnovers when they got them, and the Kestrels gave them 34. So 61 to 32, and the Thunderbirds still undefeated through 4 rounds. And here, Jackie Delaney is Shelley O'Donnell.
Thanks, Steve. And with me, Jackie Delaney. You would have expected the Kestrels to come out with a bit of fire after not recording their first win on the board. Did you expect them to be a bit tighter encounter?
Yeah, look, we always have a good tussle against the Kestrels. We've lost them a couple of times in the past, so we're always very wary, and they obviously played well against the Phoenix, so we were ready for anything tonight.
Yeah, and your own performance, Jackie, what a great game. You're playing your 50th. You had a great tussle against Narelle Garbutt, as you always do, but you seem to still enjoy it out there.
Yeah, no, look, Narelle's a great player and a lovely person too, so it's just good to be back out on court and running around, and even though sometimes I feel like I'm walking around because I'm so buggered, but yeah, it's good fun.
It's good to see you out there, Jackie, and coming back after having a baby and a knee reconstruction. Do you have any advice for any netballers that might be coming back after having a baby?
No, not really. Just it's time management is pretty hard, and I mean, I do it because I enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations once again. A great performance there by the Thunderbirds.
Thanks, Shelley. And it sounded like you were seeking a bit of advice there from Jackie Delaney, who's made such a successful comeback, not just from motherhood, but also from that knee reconstruction. What she has done is take the Thunderbirds to a 4-4 start to the season. Tomorrow morning, another game for you at 9:30. That'll be between the Sydney Swifts and Queensland Firebirds, who both need the win to keep with the top 4. Simone Thurtell and Anne Sargent to bring you that game. Next Saturday afternoon, we hope you'll join us for the clash back here at the State Netball Centre in Victoria between Melbourne Phoenix and the Queensland Firebirds. 5 p.m. is our telecast time. And for all the latest news and results, you can drop by our website at abc.net.au/netball. I'm Steve Rebellion for ABC Sport. Congratulations to the Thunderbirds, still top of the table. Goodbye for now.